social anxiety. This fucker, social anxiety, gets worse over time if you don't treat it. So for me, I'm 27 years old, and basically for all my life I've had it. And I would wait, I would wait and wait in the hope that it would just get better magically over time. So basically, when I was like 23, I thought, okay, by the time I'm 25, then I'll be cleared up. I'll be cured. And then due to that, like, I would have periods where I tried to tackle it and make myself better, but it would always be there because I suppose I was kind of hoping it would magically cure itself. So there definitely are genetic and then environmental factors that come into play with people who have social anxiety. But I think that at a certain point, it becomes self-induced almost. You inflict it on yourself. And that can be a very fucking hard pill to swallow, because we, the social anxiety sufferers, we don't want to see ourselves as the people who are causing ourselves pain, if that makes sense. But in a lot of cases, it is. Like, so for my case, I had it when I was younger, but it might have been diagnosed or seen as shyness rather than social anxiety. But then it got to a certain age where I self-inflicted it on myself. So it became my doing. So there were a lot of times when maybe friends would ask me to hang out, or maybe there's a party on or something, and I'd refuse because I knew I wouldn't feel comfortable in that situation. So every time let's use my example, every time I refused, it actually made my social anxiety worse. When in reality, if I had gone to that, it would have made it better. Even though it seemed like counterintuitive at the time, because I was putting myself in danger, going into that unknown setting and talking with people maybe I didn't like, or people I didn't have anything in common with. But those situations would have been like building blocks, which then would have made me more confident and kind of shut down the social anxiety more. So right there, I kind of touched on the self-inflicted aspect of social anxiety. I think a lot of that is due to you stay in your comfort zone. So basically, the more you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, the more you grow. And I think for people who are inclined to be anxious and scared of new things, that's daunting. And you just have to be brave in that sense and go somewhere you don't particularly enjoy, or meet people you don't particularly like, or whatever it may be. So I had a period of kind of a few years when I was around 20 to 22 where I just was really unhappy in life. And I suppose I could have diagnosed myself as being a depressed individual for sure. But also like it was self-inflicted as well. And then when I was 23, I just turned 23, got an opportunity to go to South Korea. And I don't know, there was something in me that knew. It's like I didn't consciously think of it. It was just like an unconscious thought where it's like, you got to go there. And it definitely opened my eyes a lot and made me grow as a person, because it was outside of my comfort zone. And not just outside of my comfort zone. It was fucking like, it was like stratospheres outside of my comfort zone. In the forgetful fucker that I am, I forgot to mention the basically the studies that have shown that if you sit with your anxiety rather than fighting it and trying to push it away, that you actually train your body into understanding how the anxiety works. It trains your body and mind to realize it's not going to threaten your life. So the anxiety is not gonna kill you. It allows your body to calibrate and adjust to the feeling of the anxiety. So it's something to try out. So you have to get really raw and real with yourself. You can't kind of pussyfoot around it and say, in 2 months' time it will get better, or in 6 months' time it will get better. Like, you can say those things, but if you're not putting in any work or you're not stepping towards progress, then it's not going to happen. So you got to take it one step at a time and make sure you're making progress every day, every week, every month. So check your progress. And right, I'd say, like, anyone that does suffer from social anxiety, they can relate to that feeling of they just want to stay inside all the time. But progress can be seen as, even if you get outside for the day, that is progress. So basically, you have to embrace that shit before you can flip that shit.